we are at an undisclosed location, and I have spotted a friendly neighborhood mail lady delivering her packages. Startling speed. It's nice when you come back from eating biscuits for breakfast and you catch the friendly neighborhood mail lady in the act of delivering something that I'm actually looking forward to, not them bills. This time, the friendly neighborhood mail lady has hooked the brother up from Centipede Press, directly from Centipede Press. Jared has sent me a book, one that I've been looking forward to. And sometimes it's hard to know how these things are going to go. When they announced, or when I found out at least, that Centipede Press was going to be publishing a numbered edition of Cold Moon Over Babylon by Michael McDowell, it occurred to me, I got to get that book. I wanted to get that when it was on the list of books in which I must try to buy. And they were the limited edition, the numbered edition, signed edition, whatever they call it, was limited to 500 copies. So I figured it wouldn't be that hard to get one. And as it turns out, it wasn't. I was there at the time when they went live, mashed them buttons, and got me a book coming my way. And this one, it was, I guess, about ready to go, but he had other books to ship first. So a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks later, the book is here. It is ready, and I'm about to open that mother up and take a look and see what's inside, because I want to see what that looks like. Now, Centipede Press, to my knowledge, has published a couple other Michael McDowell works in the past. I got none of which, one of them being Blackwater, and they published that in a set. So each book being an individual book, and that was before I started buying Centipede Press books. And they also did the Elementals. And I don't know if that slipped by me or if it, again, was before I started buying the books. I don't know when that one came out, but I didn't get it. I didn't order it. I don't got it. It seemed like a book I would have wanted to have gotten, so I must not have gotten the shot at it. But this one came out. I had the chance, I had the shot, and I took it. And here it is. And as per usual, when it comes to getting stuff from Centipede Press, you get a box that's quite a bit bigger than the book. And that box is wrapped up in good old-fashioned bubble wrap. A big old hunk of it, and it's the good stuff. It pops, and I love stuff that pops. I love stuff like that. The child in me is old, but he's not dead yet. But let's get this thing out, open it up, and take a look. So it's a book in a bag, wrapped in bubble wrap that pops great and put inside of a great big box. And therefore, when my friendly neighborhood mail lady or her coworkers mess up and bust that box up, there's a pretty good chance that my book is going to be tip-top, and that's what I like. When I buy a book, I'm looking for tip-top. I like my stuff to be in great condition, and it looks like it is. So what I've got here is Cold Moon Over Babylon, and there's our Ben Baldwin dust jacket artwork, and the spine does look good. They've got a bit of a texture. It's hard to describe, but you can almost see it, how it is textured, and there's the back of our dust jacket. Let me take this dust jacket off and show you what it looks like, all stretched out. Nice and pretty. And there it is. There is our beautiful dust jacket artwork. And I like what Centipede Press does. They usually make books that look really good. They make high quality books, fine, nice books. So looking at the spine, it does look familiar, but I love that typeset, that text, the font that they use on the spine. Looks really good. I kind of wish, or I actually do wish, I'd have gotten some of the other Centipede Press Michael McDowell books, but I don't. And it's just the way it goes. You don't have everything. And when I take the dust jacket off, and as usual, see how beautiful. This is a cloth-bound book, typically black cloth-bound, hot foil stamping on the books themselves. This one is 2-color, and it does look good. These are nice books. It almost makes you wish you had two, so I could put it on the shelf, one with a beautiful dust jacket, and one just showing the beautiful book there she goes. And this one here, you can see what number I got, but you can see the top edge sprayed. You got a built-in ribbon marker and a Smith sewn binding. So Centipede Press makes quality books that look nice and almost always have plenty of stuff added. So I think a guy like Jared at Centipede Press looks at a book like this and says, I want to make a definitive version of this book. And so he does. It gets a guy like Ben Baldwin to do the artwork. There's our end papers. Can you see some texturing in there? You can see it there. So it looks really nice. Nice. I like it. Thick end paper, thick. And one thing that you can typically look for in the Centipede Press books are old cover artwork, soft covers. A lot of the stuff that Jared publishes, you can go back and look at the old paperback copies, and they look so good on the covers. And it's neat to see that stuff put back in here. But here is a frontispiece, Ben Baldwin original artwork. It looks so good. It's such a great artist. I'm glad that Jared is has gotten this book illustrated by Ben Baldwin. It also features an introduction by S.T. Joshi, as well as an original Michael McDowell story that's included, Miss Mask. And I'll see if I can find where that thing's located in here while we're snooping around. But the next thing I want to do before I go any further is look to the back of the book for my signature page. And here it is. Beautiful. And you have what Jared has done. So mine's number 40 of 500 copies. What Jared has often done, he often publishes books by authors who are deceased. So when you're making signed limited editions, you're either going to just leave off the author's signature, or you can add a facsimile signature from the author, or you can get cut signatures and add real ones in. But anyway, Jared typically will do a facsimile signature, and it'll say so. So it'll say 1950 to 1999 facsimile signature right here for Michael McDowell. He can't sign this book because he's no longer with us. But putting the facsimile signature in, for me, aesthetically, just makes the signature page feel a little more complete. I don't know. Some people might think it's silly or a waste, but I kind of like it. As long as it's not the only signature there. If there's a real signature to go along with it, having his facsimile signature there just kind of balances out the page and makes it look a little more complete. And I don't know for sure, but I think this Ben Baldwin signature is also a facsimile. The website says it's signed by S.T. Joshi. And it has a facsimile signature by Michael McDowell. It doesn't mention anything about a Ben Baldwin signature, and it's white. It looks like it was printed on there just like the name and all the other stuff on this page. And then S.T. Joshi signed it with a silver paint pen. It's obvious that that's a signature there, but the same artwork is on the back of that colophon signature page, or whatever you call it. But I want to look through here and see what else I can find. So we have an introduction by S.T. Joshi, Cold Moon Over Babylon. The story Miss Mac starts on page 313. And then there's an interview with Michael McDowell by Douglas E. Winter. So when I say definitive, Jared does a lot of good work to try to make his books definitive. And I'm going to look through here and just show you what I can find as I'm snooping through, whether it be pictures, illustrations, whatever. We'll see what we can find. And very nice. I like Ben Baldwin's artwork. I've gotten quite a few books in my collection here that are illustrated by Ben Baldwin. So he's one of those, one of many that when I see that name, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to expect that the artwork I'm going to get is going to be satisfying, because always delivers. I can't think of being disappointed by any of Ben Baldwin's work. But here, I'm just looking through. Part 1, Crossing the Sticks. Looking through here, seeing what kind of artwork we got. Anything special, anything neat, anything I can show you. And already, thumbing through the pages, I passed one of them up. And I don't want to miss a thing, because I'd miss you. No singing. Let's not sing today. My singing voice is not all warmed up. So much. There's so much in here. extra little stuff throughout. And the full page illustrations don't go all the way out to the edge of the page. So as I'm thumbing through, if I can see darkness at the end of the page, like in many books, I'll know exactly where to go and pretty much where to stop. But here, they don't go all the way to the edge, so I've got to be just a little bit more careful. The thing in the tree. So each part, we're getting some artwork, and I pulled my ribbon out, but I'll fix that later. Pop the ribbon. Don't want to pop the ribbon. And there's some more of the artwork. Now I dropped my number. I'll have to stick that back in. Everything's falling off on me, man. Out of Black Water. Man, I just love these serpentine illustrations that we're getting throughout this book. Waxing Moon. Each one is different. Each one's the same. The Coffinless Dead. Yeah, that's just cool. Cool little touches. I like, as I'm reading through a book, I like to see something different for each one. It's just adds a little bit of charm to the book. But these Ben Baldwin illustrations are really nice. I'm glad to see it. And this is something that in the past, in the 90s, early 2000s, when I started collecting limited edition books, most of them, almost all of them that I collected did not have interior illustrations. And I don't know, maybe the last decade, maybe a little bit more, I've kind of gotten spoiled where some of these publishers started putting in pictures throughout. Publishers like Subterranean Press and others. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but they started putting in several illustrations throughout their books, sometimes many of them. And then later on, Suntop Edition, Centipede Press, SST, Levidian, all sorts of other publishers popped up that started using great artwork throughout. And it just upped the ante and added a little something. And now it almost feels like a letdown when publishers don't include interior illustrations. So they spoiled me. They gave me too much of a good thing, and now they might have ruined me. But anyway, that being said, there's a lot of great books in my collection, highly esteemed, ones that I'm favoring and love the most. They don't have interior illustrations, but man, it is nice when a publisher goes the extra mile to make a book as good as it can be. And that's something the Centipede Press does. They publish a lot of books. 2022, they probably set records by far. Blew them all away for the number of books they published, I think. Maybe not, I don't know. But they published a bunch. And I bought a bunch. And here's the From Harvard to Horror, Michael McDowell interview by Douglas E. Winter. Starts on page 337. So this book, in total, 272 pages. And the list price was $85. So I feel like it was a deal, a steal, sale of the century. I got my money's worth and then some. And I'm very pleased. Glad that I have it. Glad that I can add it to the collection, add it to the shelves. And Centipede delivered, man. Once again, they delivered. So after all of that, I can honestly think of no more lies to tell. Thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.